Well, we get the very rare tie in the preseason between Atlanta and Cincinnati. But coming out of week 2 of the preseason, we've got some winners, some losers, some injury news. We're just going to talk ball all together. But first, let's kind of run through the stats to kind of set the scene a little bit, and then we will talk about some of the individual players, including the starting offense and defense in this game. But we had a 13-13 draw after a very exciting finish with a Logan Woodside potential comeback. Younghoe Koo ties it up at 13 apiece. Now, the starting offense, which is not on screen because they might not have been the statistical leaders, but it's what we care about, I think played pretty well. They had a very long 10-minute drive, and that's the type of football Arthur Smith wants to impose this upcoming season. Now, unfortunately, it's all going to be clouded because of one interception by Desmond Ridder. And if you've watched our content for a while, you know that I've been a decent Desmond Ridder antithesis, if you will, if that's even correct English. But the point is, even I'm saying, don't be overly concerned because of one interception by Desmond Ridder. It wasn't a great decision versus a bad throw. And those are two different things, right? You can coach bad decisions out of people. It's hard to correct bad throws, right? When you just are off the money, right? You can go back to film and go, hey, on 3rd and goal, if it's not there, throw it away, and we'll get 3 points. But don't throw it into a tight window near the line of scrimmage where if the DB can get a hand to it, it'll be popped up for an easy interception. Like, that's the kind of thing you can look at in film and go, all right, I'm glad I made that mistake in the preseason. I won't try and do that again in the regular season. Really quickly, though, before we get to the rest of my takeaways, Kadir Hodge injury update for you. He left the game in the first quarter with what appeared to be an ankle injury. Outside of that, we saw Penny Hart get shaken up in the second half. Atlanta was relatively healthy. I think Jalen Mayfield got a little nicked up as well. But as far as football games go, the Falcons come out of here pretty healthy. Now, my first winner from week 2 of the preseason, I will go with Desmond Ridder. Why? We get our first look at Desmond Ridder, and I liked what I saw. I mean, they started off with 2 straight penalties on the kick return and then Chris Lindstrom. So the offense is set way back behind the 8 ball. What does Desmond Ridder do? He leads them on a very long 10-minute drive all the way down towards the goal line where, yes, a costly interception ends the drive, but he was 7 for 9, 80 yards, a beautiful throw to Drake London. He wasn't necessarily the most accurate, if we're being honest. A couple of his throws were not in a spot where the receiver was able to maximize their yards after catch because they might have been reaching back for the pass. You know what I mean? But all in all, I was encouraged and I was happy to see what I saw out of number 9. Having said all that, you're not going to believe this. He's also my loser. Don't throw tomatoes at me. But at the end of the day, you liked what you saw from Desmond Ridder. But like I just kind of mentioned, I'm going to go Jekyll and Hyde here and say, wasn't the most accurate with those completions. Like, you could just kind of tell that they were in the right area, but they weren't on the money. And for going up against the Bengals' second-team defense, you probably would have liked to have seen him capped off that drive with some sort of points, right? Whether it's a touchdown or a field goal. But he's only a loser because he threw a pick, but I'm not even going to try and make a big deal out of it. We just got to acknowledge the good, the bad, and the ugly, right? The good, very long 10-minute drive. And if they were playing Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, well, those guys would have come out with one possession to show for in the first quarter. That's what Falcons football is going to be about this year. Long, sustained drives. The bad, wasn't necessarily on target with all of his throws. I know it says 7 for 9, but that's box score hunting. If you watch the game, you'd agree Kyle Pitts had to make a one-handed grab. Great throw to Drake London, no doubt about it. And the ugly, the interception. But who do you think the biggest winner was for the Falcons against the Bengals? Be honest for me down in the comment section. Was it Desmond Ridder? Was it maybe the next guy we're going to talk about, like Bijan Robinson or Drake London? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. And also, quick plug here. If you are coming across our videos for the first time, consider subscribing. It's completely free, and we're going to get you guys the best content all regular season long. So hit that sub button down below. Now, our second winner is Drake London. We get our first look at number 5 this preseason, and we don't need to see Drake London again. I mean, I know he's only entering his second season. He's not some big NFL vet, but 2 grabs, 33 yards, a beautiful, very difficult catch, I would say, down the sideline. Zach Taylor thought it was too good to be true. Who challenges in the preseason? That's a crime. Don't do that. That was very inconsiderate of Zach Taylor. And Drake London said, D's? And Zach Taylor's like, D's what? And D's nuts. That's a first down, baby. Now, some other players who got involved in the receiving game, J.J. Arcega-Whiteside nearly had a touchdown, 2 grabs, 39 yards. Josh Ali, oh boy, we might have our number 5 wide receiver because Atlanta's not super deep at that room, as we all know. So you have locks, I would say, in Drake London, Mac Hollins, Scotty Miller, Kaderil Hodge, and then maybe Josh Ali emerges as a wide receiver 5, a wide receiver 4. So a couple of the receiving leaders there. My second loser, 4th overall, I'm going to go with the offensive line. So what have I talked about for the last month or so? Bueller. If you're going to be successful in 2023 for the Atlanta Falcons, it's going to be through your front 5. And I saw your best player in Chris Lindstrom get 2 penalties. Like, to me, it's just hard to stand here and not acknowledge that Atlanta had 13 penalties throughout the game. And a good chunk of that was on the offense, the first-string offense. So it was not great to see, and it's something that Arthur Smith despises, which is why we see them go from 10 penalties in the first half to 3 penalties in the second half. And I think Arthur Smith got the belt out in the second half for halftime. So a lot of good things to see in terms of the adjustments made. But all in all, for the offensive line, I just felt like they didn't get a big push. You know what I mean? Like, we saw a great Bijan Robinson first down carry the first time he touched the ball. But after that, he kind of got bottled up for 3 yards. And I just would have liked to have seen Atlanta really lay down the hammer and just bulldoze the Cincinnati Bengals second-team defensive line. But at the end of the day, you can kind of look at some of the stats there. 391 total yards, 275 through the air, 116 on the ground, but I think a lot of that came from the second-string offensive line. Matthew Bergeron, the rookie left guard, by the way, he played the first 2 series. He looked like a rookie guard who is transitioning from tackle to left guard, meaning he had some nice plays, he had some rookie moments, but all in all, I was encouraged. I wasn't watching Bergeron thinking, oh boy, this could be a long year. They better go sign a veteran guard ASAP. But I also wasn't looking there thinking, hey, Matthew Bergeron is running away with his left guard job. Before we get on to my final winner coming out of this game, make sure you get the official Falcons 2023 sideline hats on sale, chatsports.com/Falcons hats. The link for Falcons SL hats, Falcons sideline hats, the link for that is in the comment section and the description of today's video. So if you liked any of the hats you saw the players wearing on the sideline tonight, you can scoop up one of your own. Chatsports.com/Falcons SL for sideline hats. Again, all that's in the comments and the description of today's video. Third and final winner, it's a 7th-round pick out of Alabama, DeMarcco Hellams, the safety who has had recorded 2 interceptions so far through 2 preseason games. Had one against Miami last week and just made an incredible play on the ball this week against Browning and the Bengals. So Hellams is definitely pushing, for a roster spot. We kind of rattle off the guys in the safety department here. You've got locks like Jesse Bates, like Richie Grant, Jalen Hawkins, and then you've got this battle with Hellams and Abernathy kind of competing for what's probably going to be the 4th and 5th final safety spots. Most teams only take 4 safeties, so let's see who emerges in that department. But I'm very, excited to see what they have in Hellams. We just got to see him develop more on special teams because he's likely not going to see the field a lot as a rookie on defense, barring any injuries. So his way to the field is through special teams. Who was your biggest loser, though, down let me know down in the comment section from this second preseason game? Be honest. I know people want to sugarcoat things, but there were some good things. There were some bad things. My biggest loser, I think, would be the offensive line. I just think that this team's success is rooted in the guys up front. And if they can't get a push against the Bengals' second-string defense, it's just the first preseason game for them. So this is the time to kind of shake the cobwebs off and get ready for the regular season. But I would like to have seen them be a little bit more violent and physical, if you will. That's going to do it for us on today's post-game show. Make sure to subscribe, like the video, and we'll catch up throughout the week with more Falcons content.